to my channel, Gabbabetic. I hope you like my new setup in my egg chair here filming. This video is about setting up my life in Ireland with type 1 diabetes. If you're new to the channel, you might not have seen, but I've recently moved from the UK to Ireland. So it's actually my first week in Ireland and I'm just getting everything set up with type 1 diabetes. So I thought I'd bring you along, show you the whole process. I want to show you that it is possible to move from one country to another with type 1 diabetes. You just have to be very organized, but it shouldn't stop you at all. Like, you should be able to go wherever you want with type 1 diabetes. And I wanted to show you what it is like to live in Ireland with type 1 diabetes. Maybe one day you'll want to move here, or maybe it's just interesting to see in different countries how the diabetes care differs. I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here and you want to see my type 1 diabetes celiac life in Ireland. So it is my first week here and I did bring over like enough medication and supplies to kind of tie me over for a while, for a few weeks, until I get set up in Ireland. I've just put on a new Freestyle Libre, so I have 2 weeks on this as well, which is really good. I've just been to the doctor. The reason that I made an appointment for the doctor was because I want to get my diabetes prescriptions set up in the pharmacy here. All of my previous prescriptions and diabetes care was in the UK, so I need to get set up here so that I can get monthly prescriptions for my insulin, for my needles, for my test strips, for my CGM hopefully, we'll talk about that in a second, and for anything else diabetes related that I need. It's different though than the UK. In the UK, first of all, the NHS, you don't have to pay for doctor's appointment. The doctor's appointment today was €60, so you do have to pay to visit the GP. You don't have to pay for diabetes medication though in Ireland. If you are a type 1 diabetic, you have a chronic illness and you're entitled to a long-term illness card. And this card basically means that all of your diabetes related medication, like your needles, your insulin, things like that, are all paid for, and you don't have to pay for the prescription either. So you're entitled to your free medication and supplies if you are a type 1 diabetic, which is really good because the cost of those things is crazy in some of the countries, like America, like it's just insane. So really lucky that it is the same here in Ireland as the UK. You don't have to pay for your type 1 diabetes medications. Even if you have to pay for that first doctor's visit to get set up, I don't mind that because I'm getting everything set up and I'm getting my medication then for free. We'll talk about the CGM in a second because that is something that I have a bit of worry about. But yeah, so I went to the GP and the GP is then going to refer me to a diabetic endocrinologist. So in a few weeks, hopefully I'll be able to show you that. I'll be going to a diabetes consultant or clinic, and they will be taking me on as a new patient there, and they'll be taking over my kind of diabetes control. They're going to be doing my HbA1c, things like that, and keeping an eye on just my general overall health, and then if I have any issues I'll be able to go from them. So as of right now, because I've just been to the doctor today, he's saying that it's probably a few weeks for an appointment, but obviously in this video I'll be keeping you updated. This video will probably be filmed over a while so I can show you everything that happens. So fingers crossed in a few weeks that I get an appointment. And the main reason I want an appointment is because the GP can't just prescribe a CGM. So right now I have the Freestyle Libre, you all know that if you watch my video, but in Ireland the Freestyle Libre doesn't seem to be as common. It seems to be the rules that only if you're under 21 you're entitled to the Freestyle Libre. So there's very strict rules in both the UK and Ireland around continuous glucose monitors or flash glucose monitors. Your GP can't just put them on your normal prescription that goes to the pharmacy where it will give you all your medication. So you have to go to your diabetic endocrinologist or consultant and you have to be kind of signed off that you meet these criteria and that you're entitled to a CGM or a flash glucose monitor. Obviously, like I said, I've just showed up in the country, so I don't even have my consultant yet. So that's why that appointment is really, really important to me, and I hope it arrives soon. It also seems though that I won't be getting Freestyle Libre and that I'll probably have to move to Dexcom, which obviously if you've watched my channel you know that I've used Freestyle Libre for like 2 years now, so that will be a really, really big change. So I'm kind of a bit nervous about that just because I've never had Dexcom before, and also because I have to wait now until I get that appointment and I get set up. So I'm lucky in that, you know, I have another sensor or two that I can use, and I'm really hoping that the appointment will be soon. He did say a few weeks because I really don't want to have to go back to finger pricking while I wait. That's kind of making me nervous. But yeah, that's the big news, is that I probably will be getting Dexcom. I'll show the consultant my Freestyle Libre and we'll see what he says, but it seems likely that I'll get Dexcom because that seems to be what's set up in Ireland. So that's kind of big news. What happened today is I've got my prescription, it's going to the pharmacy. We'll pick that up in a few days. Hopefully everything will be right, because if you've been to a pharmacy and you've loads of medication to pick up, you know that sometimes things can get a bit confusing. So I'll bring you along for that when that happens. Right now my blood sugars were really high when I was moving home. You would have seen that in the vlog. But they're kind of leveling out a bit, so I'm happy with that, and hopefully we'll bring them back down to normal by the time I see the diabetic consultant. Also, I have to figure out where to get a Sharps box, because I used to just get them from the council in the UK, but as you can see, I have accumulated a lot and I really need to get rid of them. That's everything for today, and I'll talk to you in a few days, have a bit more of an update. But it is really nice weather here, so I'm going to go and enjoy that. But I am a bit nervous about this whole moving to Dexcom and possibly having to wait a bit for CGM, so hopefully that won't be too bad. But I just wanted to give you the realistic, real-life update of how things work in Ireland. Have the free medication I'm entitled to on the long-term illness card, but have to wait about the CGM and see if we can get everything set up there soon. So, talk to you in a few days.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, so it is a few days later and I just wanted to give you a bit of an update. So I did ring the pharmacy this morning, and because my order is such a big order, because it's like the first one I've ever done, I'm going to get everything. They will have that ready hopefully on Thursday, so I'm going to go and pick that up in 2 days from now. Also, if you watch my video on diabetic eye care and complications, I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. You would have seen that in Ireland there is a diabetic retina screening program, so that means that if you're type 1 diabetic, you can get your eyes screened once a year for retinopathy and check that everything is okay. So I wanted to get myself reset up on that in Ireland, because I did do it in the UK and everything was fine there, but obviously I want to continue that type of eye care here, and obviously I was very keen to get that set up. It hasn't been that long since I did my last one in the UK, like Christmas, and you usually get it done once a year. So I just rang them there today and they've got me like registered here in Ireland, and I'm going to do an appointment for that in like the autumn time, sometime around near when I last got it done. But if there's anything in the meantime, like they said, if there's any eye changes, you can always ring up and get a closer appointment, that kind of thing. So I'm really glad that I've got those things checked off today. I've checked that my prescription is on the way, which we'll go and get that in a few days. And also I've got myself set up on the Diabetic Eye Screening program so that I can make sure that there's no retina damage or retinopathy or anything like that. So I'm really happy with that and I'm feeling very productive today. The next thing we have to do is get a Sharps box, because I have literally nowhere to put my used needles, so I'm trying to sort that and I'll keep you updated as I do that. And obviously, you know, I'm still wearing Freestyle Libre at the moment, and we'll have to sort out the whole maybe Dexcom CGM, so I'll keep you updated on that. But things going good today.
The next morning.
Okay, so I've just been to the health centre and picked up my Sharps box, and you can see the size of it for comparison. It is absolutely massive, but it's a bit different to process here in Ireland than the UK. Back in the UK, what I used to do was submit a form online to the council, then someone would come around, they had like certain dates in the month, someone would come around, pick up any used Sharps box and leave one at your front door. So that was really handy, whereas here you have to actually go to like a public health centre, and you have to go at the times that are available. So like today it was available, you go there, the nurse then gives you one of these, signs it off to say that it's assigned to you, and then when it's full you bring it back to that health centre. So a bit different process, but I have one now, so I'm really happy, and it's huge, so like it should last for like at least a month, I'm hoping. But we have so many needles put in it, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and fill it up, so I'll show you how many needles I've used, and it's crazy. Okay, so here is the bowl that I've used to collect any used needles and insulin pens that I've used in the few weeks while I've been just moving and waiting to get my Sharps box. And you can see it is an awful lot, and also by the end of today I'll probably have a Tresiba basal pen to put in here as well. And I think this just shows how many needles that I'm using per day, and it's crazy. So we're going to go and empty this now. Okay, here we go. This will be very satisfying. First of all, I'm going to put, I don't really know how to get rid of these, but I do put them in the Sharps box. And then, kind of handy that this bowl has a little lip to it. And just going to pour them all in. So yeah, I need to put the phone down to do this, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm using my new Sharps box. Okay, box is done. You could see that it's probably like only a tiny bit full, so I should definitely get a long time out of this. So I'll talk to you all when I go and get my prescription tomorrow. Okay, good morning. So as you can see, I am in the car because I've just been to the pharmacy to get my very first diabetes prescription in Ireland. So not sure if I'll be able to show you the whole bag with the way I can hold the camera, but I hope you can see for comparison that I have an absolutely massive bag of diabetes medication. So these are the insulins, you can tell because it says fridge item, and also I have an emergency hypokit glucagon injection in there. Not gonna go through the rest of the bag. If you want to see all of my type 1 diabetes medications and supplies, check out my video that I did before. I'll link it in the description down below. But I will show you one thing because it's new and I never had it in the UK, and it's very exciting for me. It's so funny, like literally getting a new thing on prescription is exciting. Like that is how my life is. So in the UK you couldn't get, well, I don't know because I never tried to, but you couldn't get any like hypo supplies, like you can get any sugary drinks or any glucose tablets, but in Ireland you can. So now I have got these Lift glucose shots, so I think they're like little drinks, and this is really exciting because before, like, I used to always have to pay for any hypo treatments, and now I have this, so I get 12 of these per month, which is really exciting. So they're just like little shots of glucose. I think there's 2 flavors. She said there was blackcurrant or lemon. I said just give me whatever you have, so I think she's giving me the lemon and lime flavor, and this will be really great. They're not too expensive to buy, but you know, when you're having a lot of lows every month, you know, if you're type 1 diabetic, you do have hypos. And then this is on prescription and it's just there in this handy box available. That's really handy because I can put a few in the car and put a few in different places of the house. But yeah, I've got my first prescription. I've looked through it and everything seems to be right. I had to wait like 2 days for it, so not long at all. So yeah, the process here now is, because it's kind of different. In the UK I order things on an app and then they got sent to the pharmacy. So here I just have to ring the pharmacist, tell her what I need, and give them like 2 or 3 days to get the order ready. But I'm really excited for these. I don't know, I'm just so excited that I can get these on prescription now. Obviously I don't have a CGM set up, still waiting for that appointment. So yeah, that's everything for today. So things that I have set up currently: I have my Sharps box, I have my prescription set up now, I got my new glucose drinks, I have myself set up with the doctor, I have myself set up with the eye screening. They're going to give me an appointment in the autumn. So the last thing is to get a CGM, which is a huge thing to still do, so I'm very nervous about that. And I'm really hoping the appointment will come soon. So I'm filming this video over a while because it might take a while. So hopefully I'll have that appointment soon and I will give you an update then.
Much later.
Hello, so bit of an update. So it is July now. I can't remember actually what I said to you in the last clip, but I did get an appointment for the diabetes consultant and I've actually been to it yesterday and I think it went pretty well. So you know that I was worried if I would get funding for a CGM, and I went to the consultant. He's my new consultant now. To speed things up, I was recommended to go private. So in Ireland you can go on the public healthcare system and get a diabetes consultant and team for free, but my GP told me like this could take how many months, I don't know, a very long time. So my GP said you should consider going private for a while and getting your diabetes sorted and then see how you are, if you want to go in a public system or stay private. So I decided to go private. So I had my first appointment yesterday. It was €180 for the appointment, which is very expensive, but I think it was worth it because now I actually have a consultant that will look after me. My HbA1c at the moment is 48, but I am having a lot of hypos, so we're going to work on that. But the good news, the great news is that I have been put forward for Dexcom funding. So obviously they don't fund Freestyle Libre in Ireland, and that's what I've used for the last 3 years, so it's going to be very strange. So what happens now is he said that he will apply for funding for me for Dexcom, so an application has to be made to the health service executive here in Ireland, and then when that application is made, I don't really know what happens then. I'll be notified that I've been approved for Dexcom, and then I think I have to go to my diabetes team and get a training session for the first time, and then I'll have my Dexcoms, and it will be really weird. I've never had Dexcom ever, so we'll see how it goes. It will be really weird to get rid of Freestyle Libre. But yeah, so the news was that I have a diabetes consultant now. I'm being put forward for Dexcom funding, so he said it could take up to 2 months, so we shall see. And I have to work on getting rid of the hypos. Remember, I've just had COVID as well, so I'm really trying to get my diabetes back in check. But yeah, that's the update, is that I am being put forward for Dexcom funding, so hopefully within the next 2 months I should get that. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here because I have no idea how long I'll be waiting for the Dexcom. Could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months. That's just how it goes. But I am pretty happy with how it went, and I have a diabetes team now in Ireland, so that's really great. So I'm pretty set up now. I have a diabetes team, I have my Sharps box, I have all my prescriptions. I will very soon get my Dexcom, fingers crossed. But you know, it's a lot of hassle when you move country and you have a chronic illness. You have to be really kind of organized and know what you're doing. Like, it's taken a while to get to this point. Like, I've been back like 6 weeks now, and I've only, you know, started the process for getting a CGM now. So everything takes a lot of time. So I would say that if you are moving country, be prepared, have enough supplies from wherever you came from before, because it could take a long time to get properly set up. And yeah, so I will end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked it and that you found it informative. And I hope to be able to show you Dexcom very soon, so fingers crossed for that. And I will see you all in next week's video.